This Jeep Grand Cherokee came to us beat up from the auction, panels replaced and rebuilt with vicrez parts. Now it's time for the final touch, wrapping it in vicrez vinyl vzv10254. Check out the stunning transformation as we lay down the vinyl for a flawless new look. From battered to bold, see how vicrez brings this Jeep back to life.
So right now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be wrapping the rear quarter panel that goes all the way up for the top window trim and down to the mirror. And as you guys can see there, what was holding it down is one of our magnets. They come in really handy whenever wrapping a car. And as you guys can see, the top trim piece, the outline of it is starting to show. And as you're applying the vinyl wrap, you want to make sure to smoothly peel the protective layer off the adhesive side and slowly apply it. That way you get good adhesion to whatever you're applying it to. And as you guys can see here, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping the rear quarter panel, and that goes all the way from the rear up to the top trim above the door. And as you guys can see here, Jose has already started wrapping the top trim piece. You can already start seeing the outline of the top of the door. Now, if you need to, apply some heat and stretch it to get a good adhesion to whatever product you're applying our vinyl wrap to. And as you guys can see here, if there are any wrinkles happening while you apply it, you can lift it back up and apply some heat and stretch it down to make it smoothen out. And you want to make sure you take your time to get all the wrinkles out. And as you guys can see here, he's applying even heat while rubbing back over it with his hand to make sure it adheres properly to the metal. And if you see it start to pill up like it's doing here on the front fender flare, you can always add some extra heat and get one of our vicrez scrape cards to tuck it in. And as you guys can see here, he's going to use the card to get into the seams to make sure it adheres properly while adding even heat with the heat gun. This is a very simple process, but you also want to make sure you take your time. That way it gets in all the nooks and crannies before you trim it down and make sure it fits properly. And as you guys can see here, he has lifted up the rear piece. That way he can get some more wiggle room to remove the protective layer for the adhesive. And as he removes it, he's making sure to apply even pressure, that way it sticks. Now, if there's any wrinkles after you apply it, you can always come back with your heat gun and maybe a scraper card to make sure it evens out and there's no wrinkles. Now, this is what the protective layer looks like. It's just a white piece of paper that protects the sticky adhesive from adhering to anything before you apply it. Now, as you guys can see here, he's using the magnet to hold it down in place before he applies it. Now, if you're wondering where you can get those magnets at, we have them at vicrez.com. And now here he's gonna go back and add some more heat and make sure it evens out and adheres properly. And as you can see, he's pushing the air bubbles out and make sure it smoothens out. That way you have a clean look. And as you guys can see here, he's going back over the seam. That way it fills into the crack later on. That way whenever they go ahead and trim it, they know exactly where to trim it at. Now, the rear quarter panel may be a little bit harder than the rest, but if you take your time and use the proper tools, it'll make your life a whole lot easier. And as you guys can see here, he's gonna peel it up a little bit before he stretches it out and lays it down. And if you need to, guys, you can always apply heat to make it even more pliable. That way you can stretch it. And if you stretched it too far, you can always add a little heat and the vinyl should just spring right back in place. And as you guys can see here, he's stretching it upwards. That way it applies evenly to the top of the rear quarter panel. And as you guys can see here, once you have pretty much the outline lined out, you can go ahead and trim some pieces off to make your life easier. And if you need to, you can also make relief cuts in some parts to make it lay down. And as you guys could see, there were a lot of wrinkles, but now he's gonna go back over with the heat gun and make sure to smoothen it out. That way it adheres and applies correctly to the vehicle. Now, if you're wondering where you can get any of the products shown in this video, like this hoodie or the gloves that he has on, you can go to vicrez.com, or they should be listed below down in the description. And as you guys can see here, he's making his way down the rear quarter panel. That way he knows where to trim at. And if any extra material needs to be removed, he can go ahead and do so. And as you guys can see, as he applies heat and lays the material down, you can start to see the seams appear. And this is how you'll know where you can trim at for each body part. And as you guys can see here, we've already removed the fender flare skirts, and we're going to be wrapping into the fender flare skirts. That way, no seams will show. And as you guys can see here, once he has the rough outline pretty much lined out, he can go ahead and trim any extra material he doesn't need to make it easier to move the material around. And just like before, guys, he's going to apply even heat to wherever he needs it, and then he will stretch the material. That way it lays down evenly and adheres properly. And as you guys can see here, he's peeling the material up for any big wrinkles that he sees and applying heat evenly. That way the material is easily stretchable to lay it down. And on here, as you can see, he'll apply heat. Let me go ahead and give you guys a quick overview of what we've done so far. So what we've done so far is we replaced the hood. What we're going to be working on next is the front bumper. And as you guys can see, we've already started wrapping the two front quarter panels, and we already have the two doors on the passenger side wrapped. And as you guys can see, this is what we're working on now. And we went ahead and remove the rear bumper. That way, whenever we're wrapping, it's not in the way, and that way we can make sure the seams look very clean and fit perfectly. Now this is where the back side is. This is where we'll be tucking the vinyl wrap into, and this is why we went ahead and removed the rear bumper so it wasn't in the way. And as you guys can see here, he's gonna go ahead and trim out the window. That way whenever he goes to tuck, you can see here, he's trimming out the window piece. That way it'll make it easier to tuck it into the seams and make it have a clean look. And as you guys can see here, he's gonna peel the vinyl back a little bit and apply some heat. That way he can stretch it and fit it into the seams. And as you stretch the vinyl wrap and apply heat, make sure you work any wrinkles and bubbles out of the vinyl wrap. And as you see, as he's working the bubbles and the vinyl wrap out, you can start to see the seams where he'll cut the vinyl out later to fit. And as you can see here, he's making sure to go back and remove any wrinkles or bubbles that may appear underneath the vinyl. And this will just ensure that you have a seamless look that will last the duration of the vinyl. And as you guys can see here, he was working the vinyl into the seams and making sure to get any wrinkles out of the vinyl. And as you guys can see here, he's gonna peel the vinyl back a little bit and apply some heat. That way he can stretch it and fit it into the seams. And as you stretch the vinyl wrap and apply heat, make sure you work any wrinkles and bubbles out of the vinyl wrap. And as you see, as he's working the bubbles and the vinyl wrap out, you can start to see the seams where he'll cut the vinyl out later to fit. And as you guys can see here, he was working the vinyl into the seams and making sure to get any wrinkles out of the vinyl. And as you guys can see here, if you need to, go ahead and peel the vinyl back for any big wrinkles that may appear and apply even heat as you apply it back down to the metal. And this will also ensure that you have a good adhesion to the metal. And as you guys can see, in some parts, the wrinkles are already disappearing. And as you guys can see, in some parts, the wrinkles are already disappearing. And now some may appear as you go, but if needed, you can peel it up some more and apply heat and then just stretch it back down. And that should remove any air bubbles or wrinkles that may occur. And now, as you guys can see, you can already start to see the contour of the rear fender flare. And now he's just gonna peel it up a little and make sure to apply heat and stretch it back down to get good adhesion and to make sure any bubbles or seams that may appear can be pushed out. And as you guys can see here, he's starting to wrap inside the fender flare where the old fender flares used to be. We went ahead and already removed them. That way we can wrap inside of it. That way it will have a seamless look when we go ahead and reapply them. Now the heat gun comes really handy here. That way you can apply heat and make sure any air bubbles that are trapped can be pushed out. And it makes the vinyl more pliable. That way you can work it into any seams and nooks and crannies. And now some may appear as you go, but if needed, you can peel it up some more and apply heat and then just stretch it back down. And that should remove any air bubbles or wrinkles that may occur. And as you guys can see here, he's just gonna go ahead and repeat the process like before, peeling up the vinyl and applying even heat and stretching it back down to get good adhesion and to remove any large wrinkles or air bubbles that may occur when applying. And as you guys can see here, the heat gun really does its job at making the vinyl more pliable and easily workable. And as you guys can see here, since she already has the outline pretty much lined out, she can go ahead and start trimming. And as you guys can see here, the door handle is probably one of the trickiest parts about wrapping. Now if you leave it on, it can make it more difficult, but it can also leave for a cleaner look. And as you guys can see here, she's using the heat gun as well as some pressure to force any air bubbles or wrinkles that may occur in the vinyl wrap as she's wrapping the door. And now as you guys can see here, since she has the rough outline lined out, she's gonna go ahead and start making some, and as you guys can see now, since she has the outline pretty much lined out, she's gonna go ahead and start trimming some off. And as she's working on that door handle, we're gonna go ahead and lay out a piece for the rear quarter panel on the passenger side. Now, if you're wondering where you can find any of the products shown or used in this video, just go to vicrez.com, and for the vinyl wrapping tools, it'll all be underneath VZT. And as you guys can see here, she's using one of the vinyl tools to get any wrinkles or any seams that may occur out of the vinyl, and also to lay down the vinyl evenly. Our vinyl tools are double-sided. We have a soft side and a hard side. The hard side can be used to get into any nooks and crannies, and the soft side could be used to smooth out any wrinkles or bubbles that may occur in the vinyl. And as you guys can see here, she's using the vinyl tool to push the vinyl down into the seams and crevices to have it be a seamless look. And as you can see here with the front passenger fender, she's stretching back as well as heating it up to fit the vinyl into the seam to make it have a seamless look. And as you can see here, she's gonna heat it up again and stretch it and lay it back down. And that's just to ensure there's no air bubbles or seams left in the vinyl. And as you can see here, she will trim any excess that she doesn't need, and then she will use a squeegee or one of the vicrez vinyl tools to fit the vinyl into the seams. And as well as here, once you have it formed over the edge to your desired length, then you can go ahead and start trimming. Now, if you want to leave a little extra to make sure there's no seams or that it can roll back, you can do so. Now he's gonna go ahead and start trimming the excess that he doesn't need. Then he's gonna start squeegeeing the vinyl into the panel seams. That way it has a seamless look. So as you guys can see today, we're going to start wrapping the hood of the vehicle. And this is one of the last things we're going to have to wrap before we're finished wrapping the entire vehicle. Now, as you guys can see here, he's gonna go ahead and do the same process as he's been doing with the rest of the car. He's gonna peel back the protective layer to reveal the sticky adhesive side of the vinyl. And then he can go ahead and trim off what he needs of the protective layer to go ahead and start laying down the vinyl. Now, as you guys can see here, he's going to go ahead and start trimming off the protective layer. That way he can go ahead and start laying down some of the vinyl that he needs to lay down. And then after he's already laid down the piece that he's peeled off, he can go ahead and peel off the rest of the protective layer to reveal the sticky adhesive side to lay the rest of the vinyl down. Now guys, another step that we forgot to mention before we went ahead and started the process of wrapping the hood is we went ahead and cleaned it off. Now, we didn't clean it with anything normal like Dawn dish soap or anything like that. We went ahead and cleaned it with isopropyl alcohol. That way there was no residue left at all. You don't want to clean your anything you're wrapping with any soapy products that leave residues, because then your vinyl won't stick as well. And as you guys can see here, he's going to go ahead and wipe it off one more time to make sure he gets good adhesion and make sure there's nothing left on the panel before he goes ahead and wraps it. Now he's going to go ahead and start slowly rolling the vinyl onto the panel, trying to keep it even and straight. Now, as you guys can see here, once he has the vinyl completely laid out, he's going to go ahead and start smoothing it out. Now, as you guys can see here, he has the vinyl laid down to where he wants it. That way he can go ahead and start smoothing it out and making sure it makes good contact with the panel and gets good adhesion. That way it doesn't have any peeling or tearing. Now he's going to start working his way from the middle. That way he can work out any air bubbles that may occur on both sides. Now, as you guys can see, he's peeling back the protective layer for the front side of the hood or the roof to reveal the sticky adhesive. That way he can go ahead and start laying the vinyl down on the panel. And as you guys can see now, he's going to go ahead and start peeling the white protective layer off the back side of the vinyl to reveal the sticky adhesive side. That way he can go ahead and start laying the vinyl down on the hood. Now, as you guys can see here, he's gonna go ahead and start using the heat gun to shrink the vinyl down and have it form around any edges or curves that are on the roof of the car. This can also help to push out or form out any wrinkles or air bubbles that may occur in the vinyl. And as you guys can see, as he heats up the vinyl will shrink down and form out any wrinkles or air bubbles that may occur. Now sometimes the air bubbles may be too deep in the vinyl and you may have to peel the vinyl back up. Same goes with any wrinkles that may occur in the vinyl when you're wrapping it.
And that's the Transformation, our auction Jeep Grand Cherokee rebuilt with vicrez parts and wrapped in vicrez vinyl vzv10254. The finish is flawless and it's ready to hit the streets in style. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more builds and vinyl installs. And drop a comment below. What color have you wrapped your ride in? Let us know.